Hey, you sassy little board game addicts. Welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. And we can start right away because I don't have any new patrons to thank, except the existing ones who are better than new because you've been around for forever. And I love you all. You're amazing. If you want to support the channel, throw a couple bucks a month to make this naughty, wicked, bad boy very happy, and maybe can afford a Costco hot dog every now and then, well, you know, you can sign up for Patreon. And if not, that's okay too. I'm still gonna do it anyway because other people are paying for your privilege. Let's start right away with this, which is finishing up today at 6 p.m. I must have missed this last week. This is Historica Arcanum, Cults of London over on GameFound. Historica Arcanum Cults of London is a cutthroat or a cult-throat strategy game where players take control of occult cabals vying for the control of Victorian-era London, conduct rituals, slay eldritch horrors, and plot assassinations. Oh, I remember why I went to YouTube, because I was going to check out something that already finished up that somebody commented on. Copeland commented? I think it was. Monster Kill. Let's do that one first. Because I bet you can still back this project. Seems like you can. You can stand up to ancient monsters in a unique print-and-play game. This is what happens when you comment. If I miss something, I'll go back and look at it. So let's look at this one first. Wow, this looks robust. Definitely looks robust. I thought Roll and Meow looked fun. Space Alone looked okay. I've seen a few of these print and play roll and writes before, but this one feels almost Gloomhaven-esque in that there are traps on the ground and it's a hex-shaped board and you're fighting monsters and you can do different abilities. And that's pretty much it. The core print and play is €7, $11 Canadian. The all-in gets you 3 additional characters. The Iron Drinker, that's it. Thorn, Last Fear, a story campaign including over 20 scenarios. Wow, that's probably what anybody who wants to get it is getting it. Yeah, 723 for 20 bucks. I mean, 20 bucks for something you can print out and maybe have a good time with. I don't know. If you like Gloomhaven kind of games, this might be for you. See, I'm not the only one who picks a very popular game and says, yes, it's like this, I swear. Tactical RPGs. Yeah, it does seem kind of similar. Choose between a single scenario, mini campaign, or large story campaign. Choose a character. Here's your game turn. You roll 4 dice and use 1 on chosen action card field to get given attributes. I see. Okay, so you can get like 2 fighting, 2 development. Cool. 1, 3, and question. Roll 1 dice to determine the behavior for the enemies that turn. Okay, but that's not out of your other dice. Use the remaining dice and the acquired attributes to activate actions. You get resources that you could put into stuff. And so it's like your main dice, and then use your actions in tactical battle. Yeah, that seems kind of nice. Combat, choose your attack, activated by the given die. Okay, because there's a die here, right? We're just zooming in on that right portion. Or activated by the given attribute. So if you have your 2 swords, you can use the 2 swords. And by both to activate the upgraded attack. Okay. Or to add special effect. Draw a hit spot. Hitting different places allow you to target weak points, achieve various effects, so you're knocking them out. Confront your final attack with the enemy's defense and armor to deal the final damage as you sort of chip away on where you're attacking. Honestly, this seems really nice. Thanks, Copeland, for putting it on my radar. Monster will move, defend, and attack in a different way because you roll the dice to do that. After charging the appropriate fields, it will perform a special power attack. Oh, because these are things that you can cross off. I noticed that in the video as well. You can cross things off to get an ability for your own. There are 3 base monsters. There'll be many more to unlock in the campaign. I'm sure they've all been unlocked. Oh, and figurines are an STL add-on. Sure. I mean, you probably have minis that you can proxy anyway. And it's designed for 1 player, solo. There's an option to play co-op. No, you're not going to do that. So just a fun little solo game. You know what? Like, print and play games, I think, are the games that that would get me into soloing. Oh, and there is a rule book. Wow. I was expecting there would be no rule book. That's great. 36 pages, yeah, of course there are. Yeah, this looks really neat. It looks very robust for a little print and play. You can use all your items in a different way. Feels like a pretty decent value, to be fair, if you like that sort of thing. So feel free to check it out. That is Monster Kill. It is already finished, but you can still back it on Kickstarter because they're doing that late pledge thing now so that people don't go over to GameFound. Pretty much, right, Artie? All right, let's now go back to Historica Arcanum. This game is apparently an asymmetric deck builder and area control hybrid. You're going to have a different faction every turn. You're going to choose some action cards and a location. You will use the location for your area control element. So they're operations or they are quick actions. Operations, so the operator is sent on a mission that lets you use the card and lets you take over the spot. Otherwise, they're just quick actions. I like that they're dual use, okay. On the top left of the action card, you'll find the required skill to conduct the operation of the card. Each operator comes with a set of skills, so you have to use them. This way, if you find out the identity of the operator assigned to an operation, you'll have a clue about what the operator could entail. Okay, because there are going to be some... Tato, you're fine. There's going to be some information that you're going to get, and you're going to recruit new operators through your faction's recruitment card. You draw 3, you keep 1, and then that's the build. So essentially, you're choosing what symbols to activate, and then that's how you can choose what spells and whatever you can start to do. All right, this is looking better than the video. I wasn't really into the video. There's also anomalies, so these are monsters. You have to roll higher than the anomalies. Combat prowess, sure. You can fight the other cultists as well. Score victory points doing secret rituals. Complete the shape on the game board. Okay, must have the correct number of control tokens. So you're adding control tokens to specific points of the board and creating rituals. It's kind of fun. Different locations. Yeah, that's fun too. Cool, so everybody plans. You can pay a cost to reveal your enemy's intentions. Commitment phase, rearrange your missions guided by new intel. So everybody can kind of gang up and give perfect information on some stuff. Combat phase, basically it's just rolling of a dice. The rolling of the dice doesn't seem that exciting, but the idea that you can reveal stuff about people, that's potentially okay. What's the base tier going to cost? Base tier still is going to cost you $79 US, 112 Canadian, and then shipping is going to be €19, 24 euro, 32 euro to get to Canada. Oof, man, so this is still like a $160 game. For some light area control, I think the cards look fun. They do have a rule book, but I felt pretty good about that explanation, actually. And I don't feel like the rule book is going to tell me that much stuff because their game felt convoluted, but maybe not. 13 victory points, controlling factions, controlling choke points, and then creating those rituals. Yeah, I mean, like, seems interesting, seems cool, way overproduced and way too expensive for me. But if that interests you, that finishes today, Monday, the 5th at 6 p.m. I'm sorry that I missed it. Moving along, we're going to move on to Rocket Rescue, the board game, a strategic dice placement game for 3 to 5 players, where you build rockets and launch for distant planets in a race to save humanity. Huge manatees. Huge manatee. Okay, this seems kind of fun. It's dice placement. You place it secretly and simultaneously. A higher dice number in the phase offers you a stronger effect, but also costs more to play. And you're trying to predict how much you want to bid on certain things, and hopefully you bid just enough to get it. Base game is $72 Canadian. Deluxe game is $94 Canadian. I don't know what the difference is, but we're going to find out. Deluxe, oh, it has foil, has 2 new characters, okay. And cardboard tokens are upgraded to wood, although they do have a bunch of wood stuff already. And 5 additional planet cards and some rocket modules. I guess you're not rolling these dice. You seem to just place them however you want at whatever number, because you have 4. So I wouldn't really call it dice placement if you can always choose the number, but that's fine. Bid for the modules. You need to build your own rocket. Choose carefully, as later on it will matter how robust and lucrative they are. Some need more resources, become equipped with valuable crew spaces or shields. Okay. Buy stuff from the market. Bid high to be the first one to pick a resource and control which one gets resupplied on the market. So I really like markets that dwindle. This is reminiscent of Power Grid, which I think is really cool. Goal number 1 in the game, get your crew members away from Earth. In the board phase, you can do exactly that. They can only board a rocket if free seats are available. If you bid too low, all the seats might be gone in the rocket by the time you get to go out. Okay. Launch rockets or build more. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at the rules just quick. 25 pages. Object of the game, get all your crew members off of Earth as quickly as possible. Once a player has succeeded, the game ends. You score points for rescued crew members and special equipment on planets. I just want to see how you choose your numbers. Okay, cool. So you get energy. Yeah, I think you're just choosing. You get 2 energy for a 1. You have to spend 3 energy for a 6. Cool. Yeah, I think that's fun. That's a nice bidding. Okay, and energy is generated right away. So you can play a 4 without energy and then play a 2 somewhere else to get energy, so you're fine. Okay, cool. I like that. Oh, cool. And you can also put an additional die to activate a special effect for each one. Cool. And each dice is resolved separately for researching. That's neat. They can put resource cubes in their supply according to the number on their die. Wow. Feels like that's going to be very important. You just put a friggin' 6. Take 6 cubes. Build your stuff. Board, it shows the different aspects of each crew, depending upon the number. So you can move crew members or you can add them, and then finally building and launching depending upon the dice that you use. Cool. While all of these still follow that energy rule, which is neat. Yeah, I like this. And there's little bonuses for each planet too, as you ship things off to each planet. Nice. Yeah, that seems fun. I mean, 94, well, no, let's go with the regular, 72. I don't think you would need the deluxe. I think you could be fine. And then 8 CHF, some crones, I don't know. 16 crones to get to Canada, so look at that. 25 bucks shipping, so around the same. Around a standard. Oh, look, you look at that. 1 equals 1.1 USD. I could have just looked. I could have just used my eyes, but I didn't. Yeah, I mean, that does seem cool, if a little bit overpriced. But again, it's Kickstarter, and most things are overpriced on crowdfunding because they don't have that mass distribution in order to get the economy of scale. So if this game excites you to the nth degree, well, check it out. It finishes Thursday, August 8th at 6:02 a.m. Moving along, we've got Luthier, something that I'm excited to check out. In fact, I've already seen a little bit of a demo of this when I was at PAX. I got run through the game and some of the things that you could do. And it looks good. Like, I was impressed by then. It's by the makers of Distilled, which I also think is a pretty solid game, and I'm excited to see what this one does. It is Broken Distilled's funding goal, so it is their best funded game. Lots of people are excited about this one, and you can play it on Board Game Arena, I think. I think there is a mod or something that you can play before, so yeah, I know that it's going to be a top quality production. Distilled's production was really, really quite good, and I'm excited to refresh myself on this and to talk about it a bit. Well, I always thought they were called Paverson games, but apparently they're Paverson games. And apparently it's Vincent Dutrait, of course, instead of Vincent Dutrait. In Luthier or Luthier or Luthier, you are trying to create instruments, you're trying to get the most renown as the great composers make music way back in the day. Unique combination of hidden bidding and worker placement. Players manage resources to craft various musical instruments in their workshop, while also courting actual historic patrons through an ever-changing personal tableau of actions and bonuses. Oh yeah, I remember, because whenever you complete a patron, whenever you satisfy a patron, they're going to be flipped over and put into your tableau, and then anytime you do that action, you kind of get a better thing. This makes sense. It's going to be worker placement, but you place them all face down, and then you'll flip them all up at the end. I mean, Victorian Mastermind does this in a sense, but it's not like a value thing. It's just that they have different effects. Here, it's a value thing that you will get the most value out of a specific action by playing a valued worker. Yeah, you can see Vivaldi is being fulfilled, and then whenever you craft, it requires you to have one less of a certain thing. As you control for this area control of the orchestra, trying to be first chair of everything. Rules. 2 rule books for Luthier. Oh, well, fantastic. The rule book is phenomenal. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Yeah, over here's where you can build your instruments at the guild. Oh yeah, let's go through what all the spots do. I think that'll be a nice way to interact with the game. You'll earn prestige points in a variety of ways, such as making new instruments, satisfying your patrons. Well, if there's one thing that I have never known how to do, it's satisfy my patrons, other than physically. Physically, I got them covered. Mentally and emotionally and entertainingly, no, not yet. I know I'm making a good, but physically I can do it. Performing music and repairing instruments. You'll also be able to earn prestige by completing your personal goals and beating your little drums. Beating your rivals to the public awards and the coveted first chair positions. Okay. Personal goals, that makes sense. That's very much like Distilled. Just do a bunch of things over the course of the game. Worker skill, yeah. Oh, and you can throw apprentices in to boost your worker power. That's straight out of Lorenzo Il Magnifico, which is great. Then resolution, reveal one by one. Yep. The order in which their workers were placed also determines ties, which I think is key, and I think that's what's going to make this pretty fun. You can plop something down and be like, listen, I played a 5 there, and then actually only play a 4, and then everyone gets so scared that you put the 5 that they're not going to put a 5 because they know you put the 5. Or they're going to put the 5 and they're going to waste it. No, they put the 4, but you got there first, and then you can edge them out. That's how I will play. Cool, everything also has an alternate action as well. So main action, in the salon, take a patron. Easy peasy. Fulfill the patron's request, get a little bonus. Yeah. Guild, main action, take one of the available face of instruments into your hand. You can play it onto your workbench. Or take metal material, 4+ skill bonus. There's always a 4+ skill bonus, which is cool. That really makes it, yeah, this is going to be fun. Perform! Main action, choose an available for performance card. Roll the 2 white performer die, add them together with your worker's skill. Gain money, yada yada. Got a little skill track, that's fun. Repair! Make your instruments. Well, no, choose an available repair card. So get prestige for that. And there's chaining as well, because if the repair matches the instrument family for one of your active patrons' unfulfilled secondary requirements, you could assign the repair card to that active patron. So you want to repair instruments, give it to your patrons, turn your patrons into engines, and keep on going. And finally, the balcony, score an available public award that you have fulfilled. Oh, okay. And these are the public awards, I guess, although this did say reputation track, so. Yeah, I think this will be fun. I think the theme in Distilled is really solid, and it looks like Paverson Games, which I really thought was Paverson, but it's fine, is focused on that as well. You have the standard edition for $69 or $96 Canadian, or you have the deluxe edition, which includes over 100 screen-printed wooden player components, a full set of metal coins, dual-layer player board, and a custom-designed organizational trays. That's not bad. Seems like you're getting a decent value. I think I got the deluxe version of Distilled, and I can say that it's quite nice. I think it's pretty well done. The pieces are solid, but I also don't think I would need it. I think the base game is probably just fine as well. Just some dual layer boards, the metal coins, and the fun instrument tokens that you're using. What's shipping like? $15 to the US? That's pretty good. Canada 25. I mean, yeah, that's about what you expect. So for the base game, it would be like 130. And for the deluxe edition, it'd be like 170. I think both are probably fine. I think if you're in and you're interested in this game for what they're offering, I think it actually might make sense to do deluxe. I don't say that often, but it seems like the value's there, and the difference in cost there feels negligible because you're still paying 170 or 130. You gotta be into this game to be paying that much for it. I mean, games are getting expensive. I don't know if this will be the shining jewel of your collection. I think the gameplay seems interesting. I think the combos seem fun, and this will likely be a pick, probably a pick for me at this point. Maybe. I mean, it's up there. It's got potential. He says as he's looked at 4 games. Oh my god, only 4 games. But I think it is the theme that is going to be distinguishing it from different games. I think the mechanics seem pretty solid, and if you like that idea of hidden worker placement, then I would check it out. That finishes Thursday, August 8th at 11 a.m. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep going quickly now. Alfabeto, the thrilling game of unexpected words. Race to think of words that fit a topic, but start with a letter that you hold in your hand. So it's walkie-talkie. That's what it is. They're copying walkie-talkies, but it's places, or they're copying Tapple. But without a circular thing. It's a pretty standard card game that is probably going to be too much for whatever they want to charge. $29 Canadian, yeah, 21 US, plus shipping, probably. Ships to anywhere in the world, yeah. Anyway, let's watch it, let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's better than categories and Tapple. There you go. There's a reference to Tapple already. You flip up a topic, then you flip up a letter, and people have to go, at the circus, popcorn. No. Candy cops. No. Lots of cops. Cops are at the circus. It's always cops. Yep. Cops are always at the circus because they clowns. But everyone is dealt letter cards. Oh, the first player to discard all their letter cards wins the game. Oh, there you go. It's different from what the video was playing. So if you have a number of letters in your hand, you go throw it down, boom, and then you have to keep on flipping up topic cards as well. I mean, it doesn't seem like a bad game whatsoever, but it is $29, and there's probably shipping on this. Shipping $9 to the US, $12 to Canada, right? So it's like $41 for this game, where I don't know if it's more exciting than a game you could make on your own, right? Like, it feels like you could really homebrew this, and I think the way to make this kind of take off is if you're like, it's $10. They give you no reason not to get it. Yeah. But you know, it's cute enough. And it seems like it would be a fun little word game. Absolutely good for groups. So if that interests you, that finishes Thursday, August 8th at 11 a.m. Moving along to Rise of Babel. Become the builders of the greatest tower known to man. Build your deck of cards and use elephants to transport resources and place tile. This is different from the Tower of Babel. It's the Rise of Babel. $49 for the base game. Yeah, you're speaking my language. Let's see what this one's all about. I mean, $49 really means $100 for me in Canadian, because it's after shipping, and then after conversion, it's like $100, right? But 49 feels better to talk about, so that's what we're gonna do. I guess it's Babel. It's Babel. There you go. It seems kind of neat. You're going to be playing a card, doing either the top or the bottom effect, with the goal of getting resources and then shoving those resources 2 steps towards the tower, and then loading them onto the tower as the tower gets built. You're going to be, I think, adding more and more resources, which I think is going to make the tower a little bit top heavy, but what do I know? I'm not an architect. Let's go to the how to play section. You draw your 5 cards into your hand, you play the top or the bottom action. Like I was saying, you can upgrade your warehouse, so you can be doing more things. I want to see what those things are and the rules. Then place tiles to your camp and the tower. Move your elephant. Finish the level and score. Yeah, I want to see the scoring as well. Give me the rules. Thank you. Here are your basic actions. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Move your elephants. Place resources from the stalls to the warehouse. From the warehouse to the tower. I guess it must be easier to get stuff from the elephants, which will allow you to put more things down? I don't know. Deck building, which will develop the actions that you can do. You're trying to make patterns so you can have wild tiles, which can give you the one-time bonus, but it will act for everybody in the final scoring, which is kind of neat. Yeah, elephant is the most reliable way to get resources from your player board to the tower. You can only load 1 on your elephants, then why wouldn't you just place it directly on the tower all the time? Well, because you can have a card upgrade, which allows you to hold 3. So it seems like it's mostly placing 1 at a time, but if you upgrade your elephant to 3, and it can hold 3 resources, and it takes 3 steps to get there, kind of feels like the exact same, but maybe not. Yeah, this seems fine. End of round scoring. You score your wood for horizontal adjacency, your stone for diagonal adjacency, and brick for vertical adjacency. Okay, that's simple enough. As you're laying these tiles down, the crux of the game is going to be orienting these tiles, both on the main board and on the smaller towers as well. That seems fine. Seems pretty decent. What's shipping like? Timeline. Retail. So $14 the base game, 21 to Canada, exactly. So it's 71 Canadian, which works out to, sorry, 71 US, which works out to 98.49 Canadian. I told you, 49 is generally $100 for me. I would be interested in this game for 49. I'm less interested in it for $100, and that's why you always have to calculate in the shipping and your own currency. But if you're interested in that finishes August 8th at 11 a.m. We're gonna move along to Kemet. Here we go again. Kemet, Rise of the Gods. Discover a host of new expansions and ways to play Kemet Blood and Sand in this acclaimed strategy board game. Play as an Egyptian god, lead armies, unlock divine powers, and fight your rivals for dominance. From the creators of Cyclades, Inish, Galactic Renaissance, and many more. Look, they've added Galactic Renaissance to that title list. That's kind of neat. I have Kemet. I didn't get the Blood and Sand version because I was completely happy with my version. The new black power tiles that they had wasn't enough for me to pull the trigger, and neither was the weird Cthulhu tile expansion as well. So I'm interested to see if this will up-level my Kemet experience. Probably not. I like it fine as a great area control game, but I don't think you need buckets of content like every game wants to provide you with right now. But I guess we'll see. So now we have the Amethyst tiles. Again, just stuff that you can get, different tiles, you can get different abilities that you can build over the course of the game. I really don't think you need it. Kemet is a really nice, fun game, but all this is adding is a solo mode, which I don't care about, a team mode, which I would never want to play Kemet as, some expansion a gods mode, summon your god on the board and wreak havoc. So you get your own god who has like a little special ability, and you just get a bunch of different tiles, that different people that you can add onto the board as well. Plus a 6th player expansion, which, yeah, okay, I wouldn't feel horrible about that. I think there's nothing about this that makes me interested. If you really wanted different tiles, you could just get the amethyst tiles. But for a new god pledge, like an all-in $350, no, don't do it. Let's see if there's a version of Kemet that you can get at your store right now instead of $350. Well, yeah, that's the old version. The old version was $80, right? Kemet Blood and Sand Retail Edition is $116, so it's gone up a bit, but you just get that. That is more than enough than you could ever need. You don't need this additional stuff. You just don't. But I do think Kemet's a really fun game. I think it is. I think it's a really solid game that if you like area control, you should check out. I quite enjoy it. I am excited to play it again down the line. But for this, where you're paying, again, 35 euros to the US for a returning god pledge, geez, it's just no. Like Kemet, it's a popular enough game that you can get it at retail, and that is completely fine. There is no need to get all of these just exclusive promo things. The thing about exclusive promos, like I went down this rabbit hole for Blood Rage. I did, because I was so sad I missed the Blood Rage Kickstarter. I was like, oh, don't have all those monsters, right? Like I wanted the 4 extra monsters. And so I got them on the Command Time Machine. And that was just a whole horrible experience, because I was trying to manage a group buy, and then things started taking out of people's carts because it was a mad scramble and they didn't have enough. And so even though you put it in your cart and they guaranteed you that if you put it in your cart, you had it locked in, they didn't do a reserve system like any sensible people would do it. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about exclusives. So I finally got the Blood Rage exclusives. I have them in my game now. I was so thrilled to have that complete collection. And anytime I play Blood Rage, I just don't care. Like it doesn't triple my value of the game. It doesn't triple my enjoyment. And if you think about it in terms of like tripling your enjoyment, or will it give you that sensation of like, wow, this is so cool? No, you're probably not even going to touch them. In fact, you're probably going to be overwhelmed by the amount of content that you have, and it will be a barrier for you showing off your favorite game, right? Like enough is enough. This is why you come to me. This is why you come to Room and Board, so I can talk some sense into you, so that you can remember that you don't need to spend $350 on a game you could get for a third of that, and a really solid game at that. Like, I really enjoy Kemet. I think if you like area control and you like building little asymmetric powers as you go through, great game. Very fun, plays quickly as well, like 90 minutes, really good. But you don't need everything. I am not tempted by this in the slightest, and Kemet's probably I'd say it's probably my top 50. Well, it's in my top 100, but guaranteed top 100, probably close to top 50. I think it's a very solid game, but you just don't need it. You don't. Madagot, stop making Kemet and make a reprint of Barony, please. But if you're interested in that finishes August 8th at 12 p.m., we're going to keep on moving to this one, which I'm sure will be quick. The Ghoullotine card game. Join the macabre mayhem in Ghoullotine, the wickedly fun card game where players compete to survive by not going over 13. Because as we all know, the only people destined for the Ghoullotine are those under 13. Because children are monsters, in case that wasn't clear. Cool. Next time, tell me how to play. Stay beneath the dreaded 13 or face elimination. But beware, each monster card wields its own unique power, from altering the game's balance to unleashing devastating effects. I bet you draw a card into your hand from a communal deck, and then you play one, and you punch each other in the face. That's my bet. Oh, 2 6-sided dice. I bet you roll to punch each other in the face. Download the rulebook, yes please, halfway down the page. Oh, added to the game's total. Okay. So you play a card, it's added to the game's total before the effect is applied. If the value of the played card makes the total increase above the number 13, then the player who played that card is eliminated from the game. If they aren't eliminated, the effect is resolved. Okay, so you want to play, it's a twisted take on blackjack. You play a card, and then the other person plays a card, and then you play a card. So it's like cribbage. It's more cribbage in terms of pegging, but you're only pegging to 13, and if you go over 13, then you lose. So you want to just slowly get there or quickly get there. Like if I play a 10 and my opponent has a 1, I lose. So do I play a 4 and then you play a 6 and then I play a 2 and you play a 1? Oh, I still lose, right? That's the game. You play back and forth until everybody is eliminated. Shipping is being handled by GameCrafter. Okay, so they're just making this through GameCrafter, which is a service where you can get your games created, but they're more for prototyping. I've seen quite a few things from GameCrafter, like larger companies will use it for prototypes, but here they're just like, hey, we know we're not going to get a big print run, so we're just going to do it through GameCrafter, and we're going to charge you the amount that it'll cost us to get them from GameCrafter. $15, honestly, GameCrafter is very expensive, so I bet their margins are very small on this. I bet it costs like $14 to make, something like that. $21 Canadian, yeah, 52 card deck. GameCrafter is very expensive. So if you're interested, I feel that it'll be shipped right from GameCrafter as well. So they'll just do the shipping. They're just putting in a bunch of individual orders, essentially, is what's happening for the same game. This would run you $28 US if you lived in Canada, which would bring it to like $40, which makes sense, because I bet it costs GameCrafter like $35 or $33 to make. I bet that would be my guess. If you're interested in that finishes August 8th at 12:11 p.m. Moving along to Wandering Galaxy, a Crossroads game. Join a ragtag starship crew traversing the edge of chartered space, risking life and limb at a reasonable rate. This is by the same people who did Forgotten Waters, apparently. I think that's what we were talking about in the Discord, because people were excited that it wasn't a $1 pre-pledge so that they could look at it. Unlike our next game. That's interesting. This is Plaid Hat's first foray into Kickstarter or crowdfunding. Getting that pre-order system working for them. Hanny. You and your oddball crew of different species and talents get the jobs that nobody else wants. Ones that get you shot at, dumped into off-world gladiatorial games, or fleeing the law while your cargo hold is stuffed with contraband. It's a hectic life, but it's never boring. Wandering Galaxies, a Crossroads game. Hey, I love their Crossroads system, because Dead of Winter is a Crossroads game, right? Where random things might happen depending upon if you do certain things on your turn or not. I think it's really cool. It's a narrative sci-fi game where you and a few people who tolerate one another play the roles of hopeful spacers who dream of getting rich and famous while staying alive doing so. Choose a species for your character, build a background for them, then select a unique station on the ship to control. Play with your personal deck of cards and customize it every playthrough as your character finds gear, makes friends, learns valuable skills, like friendship and proper hygiene. Players will explore 3 sprawling, fully voiced narrative campaigns with over 70 unique jobs and hundreds of otherworldly events. Cool. Follow-up to the critically acclaimed Crossroads games, Forgotten Waters and Freelancers. Yeah, I haven't played either of them, but that's not to say I'm not going to look at this. Create a character, Big Papa. Oh yeah, you did. Take 1 of 6 command centers. So this could probably be a pretty good solo game. You can come across jobs, but you're not required to complete them, so you can just do whatever you want. While exploring space, your crew will come across special locations that they'll need to interact with. Each spacer will choose how their character reacts. By placing their standees on an action, the companion app will lead them through their encounters. Oh yeah, because you just have your whole companion app so that you just fight people on there. Alright. Each spacer will have their own deck of action cards that they use to complete skill checks. You play 3 cards, try to match symbols for the required check. You'll acquire new cards as you go through, you can specialize, etc., etc. Cool, so just stat check resolution with a deck, but the deck seems fairly simple. Each game session is over when you make your final ship payment to Octoff. Yeah, I think this might just be a fun little narrative thing. It kind of feels like it'll be solo. Because of the app, or like you could do with a family, because I feel like solo games are good with young kids on this like adventure sort of thing. Whenever the game instructs you to enter a 3-digit code, you type it into the app, or you find it in an entry book, and then something will happen. I don't know if these ship stations are going to be necessarily the most interesting things. That's what I'm considering. 2 ways. If you reach successful 7 profit, you get a successful run. You got profit. If you reach 7 threat, the game ends in uncertainty. Ooh, so you failed. Or you'll suffer a penalty and then it'll keep going. Help from friends? Yeah, you're just going to be getting items and friends to help you and reputation to help you with your skill checks as you go through. So it'll all be around whether or not this is a good story as you move through. But they do seem to have some pretty decent deals. They can get Wandering Galaxy and Forgotten Waters for $140 Canadian, which, seems fairly comparable to what you would get it in stores, 70 Canadian-ish is what Forgotten Waters is. And so that you're getting a discount in that aspect, or you can get all three for 181 Canadian plus shipping. That'll work out to probably a similar thing. So not a bad thing. Whoa, and they have Christopher Sabat Sabat as a voice. That's incredible. Christopher Sabat has the voice of All Might in My Hero Academia. And I'm sure these are also well-known voice actors that, I don't know. You could tell, honestly, I can tell that this was going to be a great voiceover because they cared enough to do professional voiceover for their Kickstarter campaign. And you can tell, like, the real standard commercial quality of the voiceover. You got that standard, like, 30s woman voice in the voiceover. It's like any commercial that you hear for McDonald's. It's like a very standard, well done. It's a very well done voiceover. I was impressed with the affect and with the tonal quality, and just like speaking of somebody who also does voiceover. Yeah. So people seem to be excited about this. Some people in the Discord were excited about it, and $10 shipping. $10 shipping to the US. And that's for anything? It's pretty good. $20 shipping to Canada also feels pretty good if you want to just dive headlong into this Crossroads bundle in a way that you don't know that you'll actually enjoy these things. But because other people on the internet are excited about them, well, you can, and you can get a pretty decent deal. Otherwise, it's going to be 60 US, 84 Canadian, again, like 100, but probably something you can wait for retail for, since Forgotten Waters was in retail. But I don't know, the fact that Plaid Hat is doing Kickstarter for the very first time, I don't know what that means for their business model, but I do know it finishes Thursday, August 8th at 2 p.m. Next up, we have Dodos riding Dinos first race, except we don't, because, again, these are people who did a $1 pre-pledge. Unfortunately, I've heard Dodos riding Dinos was a fun campaign. Oh, it's not Launch Boom, but it's Gel-Op. They're doing the same playbook, though, and not one that I am going to engage in. So sorry, $1 pre-pledge. You don't get free coverage from me. Well, moving along, we're going to have Ascension Legends over on GameFound. Ascension Legends returns with an all-new standalone set. Well, Ascension Legends. Ascension is the one returning. Designed for both newcomers and longtime fans of the series. Acclaimed deck-building game, you're one of the legendary warriors of the Vigil, capable of protecting your realm from annihilation, but you cannot do it alone. Ascension Cape was on 2 lists. I'm just looking back now for our... Oh no, 3 lists. For the top deck builders. If you go to the deck builders, you can see where it ranked on that list. Oh, sorry, no, it's on 5 lists. Was this in the video and I just forgot? I need to look that up. Wow, yeah, we just had a lot of deck building crossover, but Ascension came in at 18th on the top deck builders list. Cool, yeah. I think this has a very sort of standard deck building feel to it, and we'll see what Legends adds to the mix. That was a nice little rundown. I like that idea that there's going to be this legendary track. Essentially, like any deck builder, or something like Hero Realms or Star Realms, for example, there will be factions and there'll be classes, and these are kind of shortcuts that you can use to know which cards synergize with each other. Oh, I have an elf, so that's probably going to synergize with this other elf. And then it incentivizes you to just pick a path and stay with it, and only get those types of cards, because you're going to be running up these tracks, trying to get to the top of these tracks, so that you get a permanent bonus throughout the game as you create your deck, etc. That's pretty good. Ascension Legends Standard Edition, game all components for $40? Whoa! 56 Canadian? That's great. The other thing that they were mentioning is that they're offering every single thing that they have ever made. If it's been out of print for a while, you can get expansions that you wanted, which I'm sure fans will be very excited about. That's insane. And then you can have a foil edition. So an entire set of foil cards, if you really like foil, for $60, also pretty cool. Not something that really interests me, but that's pretty sweet. And then finally, you have the Ultimate Edition collection, which has been pledged 277 times. That's insane. $566 Canadian for 16 expansions, essentially, and both base games. Or you can get a normal expansion for $25. Wow. Or Ascension 4th edition, for $40. So it's just the two that are coinciding with each other. This is nice. I know people love their foil cards. I think that's a fun thing to be able to add. Makes it feel like a trading card game or CCG without the predatory behavior. Oh, cool. It's just showing their ratings, etc. Oh, that's sweet. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Approval, approval, excellent, approval, approval. Debut in 2010, yeah. Dominion was 2008. And then shipping based upon your weight, because you're going to be adding a bunch of different games. Oh, but it has the categories down there. Sweet. So 13 to 16 to get to the US. So it's like 53 for a nice deck building game. Yeah, I'm in. The only thing I'm not in is where's the rule? Where are the rules though? That's it. They just have some previews or whatever. I mean, it's a standard deck builder, and if you like those little twists, I think honestly, because people have sort of attributed this to Dominion for a while, and just in that you're battling some people, you probably know how this plays. I probably know how this plays. I'm gonna watch this video just to make sure. But if you want that standard deck building feel at a very reasonable price in today's market, yeah, this seems nice. I'm gonna watch this, see if there's anything different. But I wish there was a rulebook that I could parse through, but I imagine there is. I mean, there really shouldn't be any reason why there isn't a rulebook on the page, or just at least put the rules for the base Ascension. But I'm gonna give it a pass because the price seems reasonable. Yeah, you buy stuff or you kill monsters to get victory points. Yeah, I mean, I like deck building. I feel like I'd like this more than Dominion, just because you're punching things in the face instead of building a little duchy. I mean, Dominion's just fine in my books, but I think Dominion really shines with all the expansions, and I have no interest in ever owning all the expansions. But you can play it online, so that's how I played all the expansions of Dominion. And they were fun. That was a good phase. Yeah, if you're interested in this, that finishes also on the 8th. Everything is coming up for the 8th. That finishes at 7 p.m. over on GameFound. Moving along to Dead Reckoning, Port of Call. John D. Clare's swashbuckling adventure returns to Kickstarter. Get the base game and a new expansion featuring new ships and new crew. Dead Reckoning, which came in second in the best of 2022. That death match that we did, people were really enjoying it. People at Gen Con were able to get their hands on dinged and dented copies that they couldn't deliver to backers. I know somebody in the Discord got one of those. And Dead Reckoning has looked like an interesting game to me. I don't see this expansion adding anything additional. I still want to play the base game. Fans of the base game, though, are diving in, and people know that it's a good game as you drop cubes in a ship, and that will determine what gets fired out as you do this card crafting, engine building style game. As you soar around to visit different islands, using your cards, upgrading your crew, getting more and more abilities as you go through, trying to be as efficient as possible. Be the most, not the most swashbuckling pirate, but the most efficient pirate possible. Honestly, I've seen many Dead Reckoning videos, and that's the best one in terms of actually providing a really nice, succinct way of how the game is played. You'll choose the amount of movement that you have, essentially, at the beginning of the turn, and balance that with what's in your cargo hold. And this Port of Call reward, while pretty expensive, is my favorite type of expansion ever, which is just more stuff that feels like it could be integrated seamlessly into the base game without even worrying about it. It's just new sailor abilities, new oceans, new places to explore, new asymmetric ships, and new achievement tokens, which are your goals for the game. Once somebody completes 4 of those goals, very similar to Scythe in that you complete 6 of those goals, that triggers the end of the game. Person with the most money wins. A captain's chest, designed to fit a calyx with front accessible doors. And you can pull everything out. I mean, too many bones move over. With a faux leather or canvas handles for easy transport. Wow. If you're a big Dead Reckoning fan, maybe you love this. Deckhand, you can get the base game. It's 110 Canadian or 110 Canadian. So pretty much the same. It just depends if you want to get it shipped to you or if you can pick it up from a local store. That holds pretty fast. Or you can, and again, do an absurd all-in that like these absurd 98 people are doing. Like, for these 98 people, they better have played it before, and I know 50% of them won't have. I know it. They will have heard, oh, I like Pirates, heard it's a good game, looks really cool, and they'll go all in when they haven't even played the base game. They don't know if it's going to be their favorite game of all time. I mean, even if it is your favorite game of all time, it's a tough price to pay. Although I guess I did spend a few $100 on the latest Nemesis. Board games are getting expensive. They've already gotten there. And what is shipping? It said flat rate shipping. I don't feel like I need to check out those rule books, but I'm very, very appreciative that they are there, just because I've checked them out before. Flat rate, $15 for the expansion, or $25 for anything else. I think you can probably wait. You can probably get these from your store. AEG is a really good company, though, and they will have a widespread presence. But if you're interested in that, it finishes Friday, August 9th at 9 p.m. We're going to keep on moving to Button Shy, the reprints campaign summer 2024. Why don't you call it the summer reprint campaign? Reprint campaign summer 2024. Just doesn't roll as trippingly off the tongue. But it looks like we have Death Valley, Super Slopes, and Pizza. Pizza Yum Yum. Are you kidding me? Pizza Yum Yum. And it's maddening to me that they're going back and forth between these two photos just to have some movement on the campaign. Oh, so it looks like something happened. Pizza Yum Yum. Get out of here. It says this will work differently than our usual campaigns, and then they describe how their campaigns usually work. You can buy 1 game, 2 game, red game, blue game. So we've got Death Valley, Pizza Yum Yum, Super Slopes, Twin Star Adventure Series. I don't care about any of these games except for, as you know, Pizza Yum Yum. Death Valley, though, is a push-your-luck tableau building game for 1 to 2 players. Assemble the best mix of cards in their journey and scrapbook in order to win the game. You choose whether to assign a card to your journey or move cards from your journey to your scrapbook. Cards feature stars, special abilities, and some interesting facts about Death Valley. Each card also lists a hazard, heat, terrain, flood, or animals. Having 3 of the same hazard visible in your tableau causes a player to bust and lose. So kind of like the Grizzled. I see. So you want to keep stars in your tableau, but you can take them out if you're getting too scared, and you can put it in your scrapbook, but then you aren't experiencing them. That's what it seems to be. All right, give it to me, Pizza Yum Yum. Cooperative game played over 3 rounds. You're making 2 pizzas with your partner. Scoring criteria will be face down, and communication is restricted. Okay, great. You'll need to be in sync for the high score. You'll be playing pizzas out and yum cards to determine scoring. You want to topple the 30-point threshold. So you want to have the correct ingredients being scored on the correct pizzas that you're making. And there's limited communication. Then we have Super Slopes. You choose a route on the community row of cards. You claim that. Add it to your personal tableau. At the end of the game, choose one of the runs in your tableau and get awarded based on its features, shape, energy, bars, and yetis as you kind of ski through the slopes and create pathway. And then finally, we have Twin Stars, 6 scenarios, 12 characters. Oh, this looks like a little bit like an RPG. Rolling and manipulating dice for special abilities and combos. You have to provide your own dice and your coins and tokens. Doesn't really tell me anything about them. And then you can have the other little mini shipping. What's shipping? 5 for any number of games to the US. Yeah, that's why it's pretty much only good to go to the US for this. 17 for 1 to 3 wallet games plus up to 3 expansions. So if you're getting everything, maybe it's still not worth it. I mean, they're just tiny little wallet-sized games. Just wait until you go. This is the sort of thing where you should get at a convention if you're not from the US. If you're excited about it, because it will be infinitely cheaper than having them ship it to you. But if you're interested in that, or in any of these, I don't know if any of these seem that interesting. Maybe Death Valley seems the most interesting to me. Pizza Yum Yum does seem interesting to me because I do like Hanabi, but I would probably just play Hanabi instead, right? But if that interests you, that finishes on the 10th at 11:30 a.m. We're going to keep it moving. We only have a few more left. Moving along to Quiltable, a puzzly quilting game with spatial pattern completion for 1 to 8 players. I've always loved 1 to 8 players completions, and I'm not going to stop now. Oh, you know what this is? This is basically Point Salad, with a little bit of a twist in that you have these scoring condition cards that are always going to be in the center, and then you have these quilt cards that are going to be wrapped around them. You can take scoring conditions, or you can take the quilt cards to add to patterns, and you want to score as many of your patterns as possible. But the orientation matters, right? Like, so it differs from that, and it differs because these don't go away until someone takes them, so you can actually have a little bit more planning than you would have in Point Salad, which just goes by really quickly. And it's for $17 US or 24 Canadian. Unless we hit our free shipping stretch goal. We're going there right now. Shipping $5 to the US, 11 to Canada. What is our free shipping stretch goal? Come on. Oh, look at that. Boom. 300 backers minus $1 on shipping. It's just all on shipping. Yes. I love you, Quiltable. Great job. Very cute. So this would be $28 US for me, or like 41 Canadian, right? You can take a pattern card, you can take 2 or 3 quilt blocks, or you can return 1 to 4 quilt blocks. The game ends when you finish your quilt, so that's why you might return stuff to delay the game. Cool, I like that. Only 24 cards per player. Yeah, and everybody has different player abilities. This seems lovely. This really does seem lovely. This is why I look at everything, because I love seeing games like this. Simple, good price point. Great job, Quiltable. If you're interested in that, it finishes Saturday, August 10th at 8 p.m. If my mother's watching, she might purchase this. We'll see. And speaking of what looks like tile laying, we have Caracas. The sequel to Carcassonne. Caracas. That's it. It's Caracas. We got there eventually. I'm exhausted. It's okay. No, that is my perpetual state, though. Market board in the middle, a C per player. You're going to be taking tiles, and everything seems to have a symbol associated with it. I don't quite know why this. Oh, the symbols are here. So wherever you place your tile, you are getting that tile next from the market. Okay. And then, so if I'm really hoping to get these cute little baboons, I'm going to pick this tile, hoping that I can then get that, which then can let me get the next thing, etc. So you're dual placing, because somebody might take that away from you as well. Score victory points for your common animals, rare animals, and landscapes. Yeah. Biggest jungle, so kind of Cascadia-like. You want to create like routes. You want to create things that are connected. Yeah, very simple though. It's all about that drafting and putting it into a place that either you love the placement of, or either you love the tile that you're getting next. I like that. And then scoring for your groups of animals. Again, better than I expected. How much are you? 18 euros, so 28 Canadian. Is that the exact same? No, it was 24. Yeah, that was cheaper. Delivers to the EU, 10 euro. Delivered to the rest of the world, 17 euros. So it kind of doubles it. So it's like 56, like way too much for what this game is. But I think it looks good. Like if you're going to pick it up, maybe at Spiel, if you're going to Spiel, you would choose Antarctica as the delivery country. Boom, won't charge you shipping. Otherwise, everywhere else has the shipping charged on it. Not horrible, cute little game. I like the idea of it for sure. Something I would definitely try. That finishes Sunday, August 11th at 5:30 p.m. And finally, we've reached the end. We have Epos, a Gentes game. Haha, no I won't. Oh, perfect. No, I was getting into this rulebook and slogging through an overwrought civilization game with 8 scenarios of a campaign, which is just like 8 learning scenarios. But now I don't have to, because you know what they did? They did the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't cover things on that in this family. We're done! Oh, this is so joyous to me. Oh, I'm so happy that I don't have to cover nonsense. And I can rest my voice. But we've reached the end. Every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you, the pick for me being the thing that I think is the most interesting mechanically, the thing that I think I would enjoy the most personally for my own personal tastes, and the pick for you being the thing that I think if you get, you will be the least disappointed by. You have the highest chance of enjoying yourself if you get this, but you still don't have to get it. You still don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy everything. Most games are just fine. You're going to play the exceptional ones. And do any of these fall on that list for you? I don't know. Let's see. But we're going to do a little grunt down to remind myself of the journey we've gone on together, starting with Monster Kill. Yeah. Historica Arcanum. Meh. Oh, I don't say the names of these. I just grunt. Come on. Yeah. No. Love it, but no. Meh. Nope. Yeah. Meh. Yeah. And absolutely not. A pretty good week, actually. There is going to be a pick for me and a pick for you. I just have to pick what they are. I think I know the pick for you, and I think I know the pick for me. Oh, I want to give an honorable mention. You know what? And a pick for my mom. The pick for my mom is Quiltable. I think this looks kind of nice. The pick for showing more interest is Rocket Rescue, because it could be okay, but it's too expensive. But the pick for me is going to be Ascension Legends. I like that it appeared on 4 people's lists in the deck building tier. I think it'd probably be a fine deck building game. And for $40, 53 Canadian, 56 Canadian, this seems like the price. I'm excited about Ascension. I did like a talk for Stoneblade. They run like a designer's workshop or designers like academy, essentially. They're like, hey, do you want to come talk about your experiences? And I said, yeah, sure, because I have no boundaries. I say yes to everything. And it was fun. It was fun just to sort of talk about my own experiences. Hopefully I could help some like budding designers in their program. And then they were like, we'll send you some games. And I was hoping it would be Ascension, but they sent me a game that both Zach and I did not enjoy. That was like Soulforge. They sent me Soulforge, which I was hoping would be like Keyforge, but it is not. Anyway, but the Ascension is, I'm ready to be hurt again. No, I think it'll be a very solid basic deck builder, and the price makes me excited about it. That would be the pick for me. It was almost a pick for you, but I think the pick for you is going to be Luthier. It's going to be a good production. It is. The systems will work together mechanically. You will be completely satisfied. I don't know if you will be blown away by this game, but I think you will be satisfied to mediocrely satisfied with this game. I think it is going to be like a good, fun, consistent time. And I think the production quality will be solid. And I think the theme is very fun. So it for sure gets the nod. Distilled got the nod way back when on crowdfunding, and I was right about it, and I think I will be right about this one as well. It looks solid, and I like that worker placement, hidden value. That's a fun twist to it. So those are my 2, or my 3, or my, I don't know how many I said. Thanks so much for being here. Seriously, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I really, really do. I appreciate everybody tuning in week after week. That's why I keep on doing it. That's why we're almost on episode 150. We've been doing this for over 3 years because over the couple weeks of Christmas, nothing really happens, and I do kind of a review. But this is episode 149, and I'm so appreciative that people keep on coming back, liking, subscribing, talking about this channel to their friends, and I really do cherish and love you all. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're playing some fun games. Oh, I have to announce that Renee won her first game of Chinatown the other day. We played a game of Chinatown. It's one of Renee's favorite games, and she was very excited, and she said I had to tell everybody. So that's the news that's happening here. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful time. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Chris George, and oh man, this is really embarrassing. I was supposed to say something here, but I don't have a catchphrase. I still am searching for one, but maybe one of these days it'll happen. Oh well, kiss kiss!